What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Johnny Mack here. Just wanted to give you a heads up that if you are looking for a community that is open to discussion as far as mentorship, conservation, the wild, becoming a better person, and all of that, there is a group for you on Facebook, and it is called Soul Seekers. Soul Seekers, we are all about making ourselves a better person. We're all about making sure hunting lasts for generations to come and encouraging people to get plugged in. Whether you are someone who has something to give or someone who needs to soak it up like a sponge, this is a community for you, and I strongly encourage you that if you're on Facebook to join Soul Seekers, and if you're not on Facebook, hop on there just for that group. It is only going to be as powerful as we all make it. And so just remember that life happens for you, it doesn't happen to you, and that you can't outgive good. You can't outgive good, people. I want you to understand that, and I want you to believe it, because when we believe that and we lead with courage and we lead with intention, lives are changed, lives are transformed, just like on this podcast, transformation through primal adventure. Be blessed. Enjoy this episode. Talk soon. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Soulful Hunter Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Mack. Through this podcast, I'm on a mission to transform lives through primal adventure and to spread my mission of mentorship as conservation. This podcast is powered by Washington Backcountry, a resource for all hunters, both new and old. To find out more about Washington Backcountry, go to wabackcountry.com or search for Washington Backcountry on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The Soulful Hunter Podcast is also proudly presented by the Crazy Elk Company. Based out of the state of Washington with products made in America, they are providing solutions with gear to problems you didn't even know you had. Their tag wallet is one of those solutions, and I had the pleasure of using it on all of my hunts this last year, and it is now a mainstay in my kill kit. The tag wallet is a water-resistant zippered pouch that comes with its own reusable zip ties to safely and securely store your notch tag for quick and easy access. For more information, go to crazyelkcompany.com and use the code SOULFUL with a capital S to save 20% at checkout. Be blessed, everyone, and as always, stay soulful. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Soulful Hunter Podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Mack, and tonight I am joined by the better half of my family, my spouse, my beautiful wife, Megan Mack. Babe, thanks for joining me for an episode.
No problem.
Everybody, this episode is dedicated to all the first responders in the state of Washington who got fired because of the unjust mandates through emergency powers by Governor Jay Inslee here in the state of Washington. And we wanted to come together and share a little bit about what we have planned for this coming December and how all of you listeners can get involved and support. So, before we get into that, this has been a journey that we have worked together. And Megs, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
December is quite a month. And before we talk about how we're going to be supporting those first responders, you completed, over the course of the lockdown last year, you completed your hunter safety for the very first time.
I sure did. I think we were on the road, actually.
Oh, yeah. Doing a little road trip and going through hunter safety virtual. And if all of you listeners have not checked out the show Soul Seekers on Carbon TV, you're going to want to do that, because episode 9 of Soul Seekers for season 1 is a waterfowl hunt. And you, for your very first hunt, you're going waterfowl hunting. We're gonna go blast some ducks.
I'm really excited.
As someone who's never hunted before, but your husband's hunted and you've seen what it's done for me and how it's impacted our marriage and all that, what type of preconceptions do you have for this being your very first hunt?
It was my very first duck hunt, or waterfowl.
Right.
I mean, I've done, if you want to call it hunting, a little bit of hunting with my dad when I was younger. So I have I have ideas from way back when I don't think we even saw a bird when we went hunting. My sister and I went hunting with my dad, but
What type of hunting was it?
deer.
So you were looking for birds when you were hunting
Well,
deer?
I mean, I was just saying we didn't even see like an animal, including a bird. Like, lots of hiking, lots of trees, not even a bird. Like I didn't see anything, and it was a long time ago. I was young, probably wasn't ready to be out in the woods, but
How old do you think you were?
maybe 12.
Okay. Yeah, so that was only like 15 years ago,
Oh,
20,
sure.
20
Yeah.
years ago. Wait,
Yeah,
no, it wouldn't
totally.
be 15. That would, what would that make
It
you?
wasn't very long ago.
Exactly.
But no, so what are my preconceived notions for this hunt?
Yeah, what do you think now that you talked about that was your first hunt back when you were a kid,
Right.
but
As an adult, this will be my first time hunting.
and as someone who passed the hunter safety course.
Right.
So before you were just kind of tagging along as a
Right.
child. This is your dedicated hunt.
Mm-hmm.
You're squeezing the trigger. You're behind a shotgun. You're going to be getting after it.
Well, obviously, I'm nervous about making any shot. Can I wear my glasses?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long day. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's gonna be easy, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think the people that we're going with are gonna make the day also.
Yes.
It's gonna be, well, that's kind of part of hunting too, is who you go with and the community that you surround yourself with when you're out hunting and being in nature. I'm kind of hoping that it's not gonna be raining, to be really honest.
But if it's raining, waterfowl hunting can be that much better.
Okay, well, I've got a lot to learn. I'm excited. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to bring some ducks home.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be able to tell that story. So we'll just see how it goes.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And I went on my very first waterfowl hunt last year for the very first time.
Mhm.
And as someone who got into hunting for big game animals and the reward of how much meat you bring home
Mhm.
and all that, like there's something super majestic about one shot, one kill, your hunt's over,
Yeah.
and now all this work comes along with it. But then at the same time, there's this beautiful side of you have these wonderful firearms you invest money in, you invest time in, and maybe you get to shoot it one time an entire year. Maybe that gun in the field only gets shot 10 times over your lifetime or over a hunting career, but yet a shotgun and waterfowl hunting, we're going to be going through boxes of shells.
Shells, yeah.
You're going to be shooting
Yeah.
a lot.
Hopefully not missing a lot. We'll see.
Well, so for all you listeners out there and wondering how we're going about doing this first waterfowl hunt, we are lining up a outfitted hunt with safeties off outfitters
Mhm.
up in Linden, Washington. So we're going to be heading up north for the Pacific Flyway, shooting pintail, widgeon, drakes, mallard drakes. I don't even know my ducks that well. I got something I got to study up on, make
Oh.
sure I get you studied up on as well.
Yes.
But so all you listeners, if you're looking to get a first-time waterfowl experience or you just want to do a great waterfowl hunt, highly recommend looking them up. And I'll make sure I put their information in the show notes because I want to make sure we take care of the people that take care of us. You always hear me talk about you can't outgive good, and mentorship is conservation. And this is a big step in supporting them because they support us. They taught me a lot about waterfowl hunting when we went, and it's just a great opportunity. So, are you nervous?
To go?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am.
What are you nervous the most about?
I mean, this is going to sound like such a female answer, but I don't want to be cold. I don't want to be wet and cold, but I'm going to go into it with a good attitude because I am really excited. And I think if I prepare myself to be wet and cold, I'll be fine. It's not like it's going to come as a surprise.
Does killing an animal scare you?
No.
No.
I mean, it doesn't feel good. I've just butchered chickens not that long ago. And yeah, the first one was very difficult for me, but what I did 8 right in a row.
Yeah.
So killing an animal that I know that I'm going to eat does not bother me at all.
Yeah.
Now, if I have a chance to kill an elk or a deer or something bigger than a duck or a bird, I don't know. I don't know how I'll feel. But I do know that I really enjoy the meat, and I'm very thankful for it. So I think I'd be more excited than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, let's move in. We're going to expand on this, but we're also going to be filming an episode of Soul Seekers for that hunt. And I'm so excited that you get to be the mentee in this, because this is something that, as I've pursued my hunting career and wanted to, journey more and expand my knowledge and experience, I didn't want to leave you in the dust and this being like, well, this is my thing, and you're at home with the kids, and we have young kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I want it to be a family thing to a certain extent.
Sure.
Because I do believe that a family that shoots together, a family that hunts together, a family that
harvest together, cooks together.
Yeah,
all of it.
Whether it's homesteading, growing a garden, you've gotten into, all sorts of
Canning
stuff.
and preserving.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a different take in the circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
Death brings life, and it's a continuation. So, on the other, changing subjects, because this is one of the big reasons why I wanted to have this podcast and diving into what we are doing with Washington Backcountry, the Soulful Hunter podcast, Soul Seekers, is, and all you listeners, make sure you add this to your calendars, December 11th. It's a Saturday, December 11th at 5 o'clock at a wonderful business that is hosted by one of our mentees that we had from the 2020 hunting season, Will Weber, Iron Will Weber.
Shout out to Will.
Shout out to the Iron Will. He offered his business to host our event. And the last time we had an event was in December of 2019.
Yeah.
And we haven't had
pre-COVID, basically.
Yeah, and we haven't had an event since. And before then, that was a fundraiser for Seattle Children's Hospital, raised just shy of $5,000 in total of between toys and monetary donations. This event, not only is it focused on building community, connecting people together, building relationships, getting hunters together, new hunters, people who've never hunted before, and connecting them not only with each other and other people in the community, but also we're going to be bringing in a lot of different conservation organizations. So you're going to get an understanding of what these organizations are all about. They're going to have a chance to speak in front of everyone. You're going to get to sign up and be members if you want. It's free to go. All ages are welcome. It's going to be at the business's Straight Sheet Fabrications in Mukilteo, Washington, which is over by Everett, just north of Seattle. And once again, that's Saturday, December 11th. But one of the awesome things is that instead of doing a fundraiser for Seattle Children's Hospital,
this is my favorite part.
we are doing a fundraiser for the first responders who have children who got fired because of the mandates in the state of Washington. And so we want to bless all of them, as many people as we can support through this, by doing a toy drive. And also, we're going to be raffling off items. You're going to have a chance to win a bunch of drawings and win prizes. And we're going to be doing raffle tickets. Our goal is to raise over, $10,000 for these first responders.
I think we can do that.
To make sure that we can provide them and their families with the best Christmas possible.
This hunting community, the outdoors community that you are a part of, is really such a special community where people come together, they support each other. I think that is a goal that we can achieve. I think that's a very realistic goal.
I absolutely agree. I think $10,000 is something that is 100% attainable. And for all of you listeners out there, if you want to get involved and you want to participate and you are not in the local area, number one, come to the event. You're going to love it. You're going to have a lot of fun. Not only are we having conservation organizations, we're going to have a couple different vendors. It is food and beverages are going to be there. You're going to be able to get your beverages on, get your grub on. We're going to have giveaways. It's free to come, no cost to you. We're going to be selling some swag, some merchandise. and connecting you with some of the most amazing people you're ever going to interact with.
And this one is all ages, correct?
This is all ages.
Because I know in the past that we've done them at 21 and over. So all the listeners out there who have children that are under 21 that you wish could have come to the other events, this is your opportunity. And hopefully moving forward, we'll be able to do more of these events as all ages so that we can connect with those the younger kiddos in the crowd who are going to go on to carry on the mentorship as conservation.
Right, because on this podcast we always talk about you can't outgive good. You can't outgive good, and it's about connecting with the hearts and loving people. And mentorship as conservation is all about loving people. Well, at the end of the day, if love does not just extend to the relationship with teaching somebody how to hunt, it is about loving them throughout all their experiences.
Right.
And this is just one of the ways that Washington Backcountry, Soul Seekers, the Soulful Hunter podcast is giving back to the community. So going back to how you can get involved. Number one, if you're listening to this podcast and you hear this, share it with other people so that we can get as many people there as possible, because the more people that come, the more money we can raise. Remember, if you only can give $1, give $1. Give $5, give $5, whatever. Those of you who are there, we're going to be taking donations, but at the same time, if you want to have an opportunity to win stuff as well, we're going to be selling raffle tickets for $5 each. And you can buy as many raffle tickets as you want. And then if your number is drawn, you'll have a chance to win a bunch of different prize packages and gifts that a bunch of wonderful sponsors are going to be donating, and a lot of partners that we've partnered up with in the outdoor community to support this event. So whether it is swag from different retailers or actual hunting products or whatever, I can't give it all away yet because we are still in the planning stages of this event, so I don't have specific details, but that is something. The other thing is that if you want to just send in a check, you can send in a check. We can take virtual payments through Venmo, and all this is going to be coming up. And where you're going to be sending the check to is you're going to make the checks out to Washington Backcountry, but you're going to send it to Straight Sheet Fabrications, and their address is found on the internet.
Right.
I'll make sure the address is also in the show notes in case you want to send a check. The other thing is those of you who don't want to send money, send a gift. Go buy some toys. I don't know what ages of these kids are yet, but we are making a list right now and getting the families dialed in so that we can support them. And if you want to send a gift, you can send a gift specifically to Straight Sheet Fabrications in Mukilteo, Washington. And I'll make sure I have that address in the show notes once again. But we're also going to have a toy drop-off donation at the Stag Barber shop in Snohomish, Washington. So if you're in the area and you want to donate, we're going to start getting that bin available November 1st. November 1st, that donation bin is going to be available. This podcast is launching, October, 25th, I think?
I believe so, yes.
October 25th is when this podcast is dropping for all of you. And so whether you are on the East Coast of the United States, you're in Canada, or you're wherever you're listening to this episode at, get involved, share it. There are people that could use some special love, because in a time like this that we're facing.
Well, especially in Washington State, where we have this mandate go out where, it's been especially hard here for a long time. Yeah.
Well, and you're a nurse, and you're
Yes.
always going to be a nurse. But this affects us.
Correct.
You're a nurse, I'm a school teacher, and it's one of those things where the mandate is affecting us, and we were blessed enough to navigate the waters for exemptions to take place. However, with that being said, the exemptions were also stated that they could withdraw it at any time. And so it's like, okay, well, how long do we actually even have our jobs?
Right.
At the end of the day, you cannot outgive good. What you put out into the world always comes back in return, and we don't give for the expectation of a return. We give out of the kindness and the goodness of our own hearts, because that is what I believe that we are called to do. It's what God says we're called to do, is love God, love man. And if the golden rule is true, it says treat others the way you want to be treated, then the whole concept is, if you are in a situation where you need help, you would still want to treat others the way you want to be treated. So if you would want help, it's always good to give help, give support, bless people. You can't outgive good. Am I missing anything, babe?
Just one point that I wanted to make sure everybody understood. I will have the Venmo set up shortly, definitely before November 1st. I don't have that set up yet, but maybe you can put that in the show notes. Also, along with the address to the Stag and the address to Will's, the metal shop.
Yep.
So that we have everything covered, and then more details to follow.
And if you want to go to soulfulhunter.com or wabackcountry.com, we are going to be posting a lot of information on there as well. Also, here's a really cool thing. You're going to have an opportunity to be featured in one of the episodes of Soul Seekers if you show up to the event, because that event is going to be one episode of Soul Seekers to share the mission and spread the mission of loving people. That's what mentorship is all about: building community, getting connected, getting plugged in. And you don't have to be a hunter, an outdoorsman, or anything of that sort to still get involved and still support these people. And I think that's one of the key things, is that people want to just like stay in their lanes. Well, this is my comfort zone.
Right.
If you don't hunt, or you have friends that don't hunt, but they support the cause, share the message. We're going to be doing a lot of social media blasts and spreading the word. We're going to be hopping on ESPN Sports Radio in Seattle coming up in November to spread this mission.
Yeah, come out and show your face and be around people for once.
Yeah.
You know, like this is our opportunity to get a group of people together that are like-minded, that want to support the same thing.
Yeah. Whether you support hunting, whether you support freedom, whether you support first responders, whether you support
any of it,
just helping people and
Exactly.
loving people, it doesn't matter. Come get involved. We're going to have food. Food is, you can purchase food, you can purchase beverages. We're going to have a lot of merchandise. You can also support monetarily, bring gifts. Remember, if you bring a gift, you are going to be automatically entered into raffles as well. So we're going to be giving out raffle tickets if you show up with a gift at the door, toys for the families.
That's nice.
And then you will get raffle tickets if you buy them. Also, you can buy as many as you want. But remember, it goes to a good cause, and we'll be talking all about that night.
Awesome. More details to follow.
Yep, more details to follow. If you haven't scheduled it yet, please mark your calendars. December 11th, Saturday, December 11th, 5 o'clock in Mukilteo, Washington, Straight Sheet Fabrications. And it is one of the ways in which our mentee, Will Weber, and once again, shout out to him. He is the man, what's the word I'm looking for? His life was transformed through the mentorship process of getting involved through Primal Adventure, and he really bought into the whole concept of mentorship as conservation. And he got to experience his very first hunt with us on episode 4 and 5 of Soul Seekers. If you want to go watch that and get a feel for Will. But his way of giving back was to support us in this event by hosting it and supporting it in a lot of other ways. So just, there's a lot of good people out there, people, and it's time for us to rally the troops, circle the wagons, and get connected, get plugged in. And we want to see you there. I want to meet you. I can't wait to meet the listeners of this podcast. Spread the word. You can't outgive good. Freedom on. And as always,
Stay soulful.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, I'd love it if you could go ahead and give this a rating as well as subscribe. Also, you can check us out on Instagram under the Soulful Hunter Podcast. Make sure to tag us in pictures and posts and use the hashtag Soulful Hunter. To find out more about the Soulful Hunter Podcast, go to soulfulhunter.com and be sure to follow the podcast, as we are going to be bringing you a lot of great information, insight, and changing lives through Primal Adventure. I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. Stay tuned and stay soulful.